Haven't done this in 3 weeks, so let's see if I remember how to do our normal Monday morning. So let's have a seat, whatever's comfortable, whether that's legs out, cross-legged. But gently close your eyes to start. And let's take 3 deep breaths together. So on the first deep breath, sit up a little bit taller. And then long breath out. Controlled breath. Relaxing the body a little bit. Okay, number 2, let's breathe in through the nose. And then once again, relaxing with a long exhale. All right, one more time. Let's breathe in through the nose. And then out through the mouth. And you can resume a normal breathing pattern. Let's do our classic relaxing our body head to toe, focusing on individual parts. So starting with the crown of your head, okay, down to your forehead, okay, ironing out any wrinkles there. And relaxing your eyelids, relaxing the rest of your face from your cheeks to your lips, and your jaw. Continue to breathe gently. We're going to work our way down through our neck. And then from our neck, let's breathe down through our spine for a moment. Okay, and then back to the shoulders, down through your arms, from your shoulders to your upper arms, to your forearms. And then noticing where your hands are. You're wiggling your fingers. All right. And then notice where your glutes touch your mat. Through your quads and hamstrings to your knees. Maybe taking a moment to notice where your hands touch your knees. And then through your shins and calves. If you're sitting cross-legged like me, where your shins touch your feet, and then down to your mat. Continue to breathe. Noticing how your chest expands and contracts. Okay, just continue to sit here. As your chest expands out, you breathe in, and then it contracts as you breathe out. All right, let's take one more deep breath in and hold it at the top. And then I'm going to play the singing bowl and give yourself a long, super long exhale. Then open up your eyes. And let's take in the sunlight while it's still here this early in the day. All right, let's turn our torsos counterclockwise. Okay, right hand is pressed gently into the left knee. Chin is turned towards the left shoulder. We're turning our spines as we sit up nice and tall. Nice. And then as you breathe out, let's come back to the front, slowly turning the opposite direction. So left hand is pressed into the right knee. Right hand is pressed into the ground. We're turning, looking to the right. And then as you exhale, let's come back to center. Oof. All right, let's do a sitting side stretch. So let's look up as we reach both arms up. Like you're going to touch that ceiling. And let's start on the left. So plant that left hand on the mat. Right arm reaches over your body towards the upper left hand corner of the room. And then turn the chin and eyes upwards. Ooh. Okay, feel the stretch go all the way down the right side of your body. Let's bring that left hand back up to the top, dropping the right hand down. Oof. Okay, same thing here. Left arm goes over your body towards the upper right hand corner of the room. All right, let's bring that right hand back up to the top and then bring the hands back to center as you breathe out. Oof. All right, let's get a neck stretch before we do the inner thighs. Let's sit on the right hand or right fingertips and reach the left hand over your head. Okay, by sitting on that right hand, you should drop the right shoulder, accentuating the stretch at the base of your neck. And then feel free to rotate your head back and forth, because I know everyone has their own tight spots in their neck. Feel free to go back and forth or just hold any spots that feels good. Ooh. All right, let's release our head and swap hands. So we're sitting on our left fingertips. Right hand reaches overhead. Okay, same thing. Feel free to find any tight spots you have. All right, let's release the head and get off the left hand. And let's do our cobbler pose for the inner thighs. So bring the feet together in front of you. Bring your heels in, let the knees drop down to your mat. And then pull yourself or pull your torso towards your heels. Okay, hinge at your waist. All right. And then let's take a step further and reach your arms in front and round out your back. I'm going to slide my fingertips gently forward, really feeling those inner thighs. All right, and then let's sit back up. Ugh. And let's do some knee drops while we're still sitting. Open up the hips. Okay. Ugh. I'll call it out, but go at your own pace as we're still warming up here. So I'm down on the right. Whew. Slowly move to the left. And we'll go back to the right for myself. I think we're going to do 3 times for each side. So this is the second time on the right. And if I had to describe that, it starts from the outside part of the knee, travels on the outside part of my leg to my hip. Ooh, all right. Second time to the left. Wow. I haven't done yoga in 3 weeks, but that's okay. Okay. Last time on the right. Right. And then over to the left. Finish it off, or we stand up. All right. And then let's bring the knees back up and let's stand up. Get my favorite hamstring stretch. All right. So find a nice wide stance, toes facing forward, legs are straight. Let's reach up to start. And then long exhales, we swan dive forward. Looking through the legs towards the back of the room. Whew. All right, let gravity take over. And let's fold our forearms and rest our head on our arms. And rock left, right, right to left. Whew. All right. Let's plant the right hand on the floor and reach our left arm or left fingertips towards the ceiling, opening up our chest and our left shoulder. Okay, hopefully your hamstrings are starting to open up. And let's lower that left hand back down to the ground. Switch hands. So that left hand is planted, right fingertips reach up to the ceiling. Let's take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, lower the right hand back down. Okay, back to where we started. And from here, we're going to go into a lunge on the left to get some hamstring action and hips. So let's rotate 90 degrees until we're in a low lunge on the left. Ooh. Let's lower the right knee down to the mat, untuck the right foot, and then bring the torso and arms up. Okay, feeling that right hip stretch out. Let's hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, all right. Let's bring the torso and arms back down. Okay, lift the right knee off the mat, back into the low lunge on the left. Let's slowly come back to center, straightening up both legs. And then let's get the right side. So pivoting 90 degrees to the right until we're a low lunge on the right side. All right. Then lowering the left knee, untucking the left foot, Arms and torso come up. We are feeling that left hip. I'm going to say it for 3, 2, and 1. Arms and torso come forward. Let's bring that left knee back into the air, back in a low lunge. And let's come back to center. All right. On a slow 10 count, let's straighten up our bodies. So we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. All right, let's relax the legs. Let's get shoulders, left arm across the top of your chest. Okay, we're going to shoulders, triceps, then our neck. And then we'll do a standing side stretch. Okay, give yourself one last pull. That left shoulder, and switch. The right arm goes across the top of your chest. Ooh. And then we're going to release. Let's get the left arm behind the head. Switch sides. Ooh. All right, let's release that right elbow. Let's grab our left wrist behind our back, dropping the head over. Ooh. To the right side, like you're trying to touch your right ear, your right shoulder. And then tilting our heads back as we look up. And rolling the head forward. Look down the ground. All right. Back to the starting position and then back up top. And then let's switch sides. So we're grabbing our right wrist. Okay. Dropping the head over to the left. Ooh. Okay, this side's definitely tighter for me. Let's roll our heads forward as we look down. And then rolling our heads back as we look up. Ooh. All right, and then back to the starting position, and then back up top. We'll release our right wrist. Since we're already standing up nice and tall, let's do a standing side stretch. So look up to start, and then reach both arms up. Okay, give yourself a little reach up, and then let's drop the left arm down. Kick out the right hip. Right arm goes overhead. We're reaching. Ugh. Okay. See if you can grab every last millimeter up in the air. Let the stretch go all the way down to your hip. Let's bring the left arm back up as we drop the right arm down. Okay. Same thing. Reach for those left fingertips. Let the stretch go all the way down your side, your hip. No bend at the elbow. All right, let's bring that right hand back up in the air. And then hands come to center. Well, we're going to leave them as we transition straight into Malasana. So find just wider than shoulder distance apart, keeping the head and chest up. Lower yourself down as far as feels good. Okay, as you exhale, hopefully that gets you a little bit lower. Let me use my elbows to push my knees back, see if that adds a little bit more of a stretch. Let's do a slow 5 count here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My hands on my legs. Ooh. Ooh. Nice. Ugh. All right. I'll let you take off your jacket and then we'll do a split leg hamstring stretch. All right. I'm gonna start with my left, but it doesn't really matter which side you do. We're gonna hit both anyways. But heels are in line. Left leg is straight. Arms come up. Then we're going to exhale as we swan dive down. Ooh. And driving the right ankle towards, or the right hip towards the left ankle. Ooh. All right, let's bend the front knee to come on up. And then switch legs or turn 180 degrees, whatever works. Okay, arms are up top. Let's exhale as we swan dive down. Ugh. My right hamstring is always tighter than my left, but at least I know that. All right, drive that left hip forward a little bit more. And then we'll bend the right knee to come on up. All right, let's do some moving options. So come towards the front of your mat, feet and legs together, standing up tall, arms come up. Take a little breath in, and then swan dive down. We're going to do 2 warm-up swan dives. So coming down, up to flat back. Exhale, rounding at the back, reaching for the ground, eyes up, reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top for 1. Come down for number 2. Up to flat back. Exhaling, rounding out that back, and then reverse swan dive. Okay, hands are at the top. Let's come down for a 3rd time. Ooh. Okay, hopefully the hamstrings are opening up here. Up to flat back. And then as you exhale here, round out your back, plant both palms on the mat, stepping back into plank. And let's chaturanga down. Do an upward dog. Let's hold this first upward dog for a couple moments. So you can get your legs off the mat. So you're balancing the tops of the feet and the palms, the hands. Okay, maybe you're a little shaky, whatever. Come back to plank. Do a push-up here if you'd like. On the way to downward dog. Yeah. Okay. Fingertips are spread. You're pushing the floor away in front of you. Both legs are straight. And we are feeling our calves. Yes, we are. All right. And let's bend the left knee and drive the right heel down, focusing on just the right calf. And every time you exhale, see if you can push a little bit more. Okay, switch sides over to the left. That stretch goes all the way through your left calf. Okay, over the right. We'll do 2 times for each side. Okay, back to the left.
Nice. All right. So straighten out that right leg back to a neutral downward dog. Let's do a sun salutation. And we'll do a crescent pose. So walk the feet towards the hands and reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. Swan dive down. Ooh. Up to flat back. And let's exhale, rounding at the back, planting both palms, stepping back to plank. And let's chaturanga down. Upward dog. Back to plank. Push up here if you'd like. And into downward dog. All right. Let's bring our feet together behind us. And let's start with the right leg up in the air. And let's swing that right leg through and plant it in front. And bring the arms and torso up. Okay, no bend at the elbow. That left leg is straight. Left heel is reaching for the ground. Right knee should be tracking over the right ankle. Eyes forward. And every time you breathe out, see if you can get a little bit lower. Find your foundation. Legs are strong. All right, let's bring the hands to heart center, and then we're going to transition to prayer twist on the right. So resting the left elbow on the right knee, hands are stacked, right elbow is facing the ceiling. Continue to breathe. All right, and then let's return to crescent pose. Arms are reaching for the ceiling. All right, and then bring the arms and torso back down to the mat. Plant both palms. Right leg comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down into upward dog. Okay, back to plank. Push up here into downward dog. And then let's get the other side. So feet and legs together. Then float the left leg up in the air. And then bring the left leg forward and plant it in front. Then let's come to crescent pose on the left. Okay, once again, no bend at the elbow. Fingertips are reaching for the ceiling. Right heel is reaching for the mat. Find that foundation on this leg, this side. I definitely feel my right hip stretching out in a good way. All right, let's lower the hands to heart center. And let's come to prayer twist on the left. Okay, continue to breathe. Hands are pressed into each other. Ooh. All right. And then let's return to crescent pose. Arms are reaching for the ceiling. And we're going to exhale, arms and torso back down. Plant both palms. Left leg comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down. Do an upward dog. Okay. Back to plank and then sun salutation. So we'll walk the feet towards the hands and reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. And swan dive back down. Okay, hamstrings are very happy now. Up to flat back. Exhaling, rounding at the back, planting both palms. Okay, back to plank. Chaturanga down. Upward dog. Back to plank. Push up here. And into downward dog. And we're back on the right side. We're going to do our warrior sequence. So feet and legs together. Float the right leg up in the air. And let's do one knee to nose. Okay. Back into the air. And then swing that right leg through and plant it in front. And then as the arms come up, that left heel comes down for warrior one. Okay. Same thing. Front knee should be tracking over the front ankle. No bend at the elbows. Square up your shoulders so your torso is facing forward. And every time you breathe out, see if you can get a little bit lower. Nice. All right, transitioning to warrior two, palms facing the ground, arms parallel to the ground, eyes and face still facing forward. Let's come to reverse warrior. Gently resting the left hand on the back leg. Right fingertips reach over your body towards the back of the room. Okay, back to warrior two. And let's do a triangle pose. So reach forward as far as you can. And you can reach no further. Drop that right hand down to the ground, maybe right fingertips, left fingertips, reach for the ceiling, turning the chin upwards, settling the breath. All right, in 3, 2, 1, let's pop up, returning to warrior two. Okay, dipping back into reverse warrior. Back to warrior two. Let's swing that left arm forward up for warrior one. And then let's bring the arms back down, plant both palms. Right leg comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down, upward dog. Okay, back to plank and sun salutation. So we're walking our feet towards the hands and reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. Okay, back down. Up to flat back. And let's exhale, rounding out our backs, planting both palms, stepping back to plank. Let's chaturanga down. Do an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here, and into downward dog. Ugh. All right, feet and legs together. Let's do the left leg now. So left leg up into the air. And then one knee to nose, just like the other side. Knee to nose. Back up into the air. And then let's swing that left leg forward, plant it in front, and come to warrior one on the left. Okay, square up those shoulders. No bend at the elbow. Fingertips reaching evenly up to the ceiling. All right, coming to warrior two. And if you notice your warrior two is slightly forward, is slightly back, adjust for it, back to center. Okay, arms parallel to the ground. And let's dip back into reverse warrior. Okay, careful not to put too much weight on that back leg. And then back to warrior two. And then let's reach forward with those left fingertips. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Dropping the left hand down. Right fingertips reach up to the ceiling. Okay, eyes and chin looking up or facing up. Okay, and then let's hop back up into warrior two. Dipping back into reverse warrior. Momentarily back to warrior two. Whew. And then swing that right arm forward and up for warrior one. And then as the arms and torso come down, that back heel comes up, plant both palms. Left leg comes back to plank, and let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. Okay, back to plank. Let's sun salutation. Walk the feet towards the hands and reverse swan dive. Ooh, hands are at the top and back down, up to flat back. And then round out the back, plant both palms, sitting back to plank. Let's chaturanga down and do an up dog. Ooh, okay, back to plank. One more push up here. On our way to downward dog. Ooh, okay. Thanking our calves once again. Take a couple breaths here. Every time you breathe out, push the floor away a little bit more. See how much you can get out of the calves. Yeah, all right. Let's do our chair pose. So walking the feet towards the hands. Bring the feet and legs together. Drop your bottom down. Arms come up. Okay, arms are parallel, palms facing one another. Okay, on a straight line from your glutes through your torso to your fingertips. And then straightening up your body, getting off the heels, working the calves. Okay, staying there. I'm going to crack my window slightly. Okay, we're still balancing on the toes, reaching for the ceiling. And then as you exhale, lower the heels down, hands come to heart center. Let's do twisting chair pose to the left. Okay, so right elbow, left knee, hands are stacked. Okay, see how far you can bend your knees and lower yourself down while maintaining balance. All right, back to center, straightening up once again, lifting the heels off the mat as high as you can. Okay, try to touch that ceiling with those fingertips. And feel those calves strengthen up. Ooh. Okay, take a gentle breath in. And exhale, heels down, hands come to center, and then rounding it out with a twisting chair pose on the right. All right, back to center, straightening up our bodies for a third and final time as we lift the heels. Okay, since this is the last time, see how high you can go. Whew. Okay, give yourself one last reach. And then as you breathe out, heels come back down, hands come to center. Right. Let's do a tree pose. So I'm going to start with the left leg on the ground. Let's get the right foot into position. Okay, wherever that feels good for you. Doesn't matter. It's a little different. Add the arms as needed. Let's see if we can do 10 seconds for each side. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg comes out. Let's shake out that left ankle. Okay, and then let's get the other side. So right foot is planted. Let's get the left leg into position. Okay, right there, we're looking good. Add the hands or balance works for you. Let's repeat that 10 count. I'm going to go up this time just for fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's bring that right leg out, or left leg out, shaking out the right ankle. Let's do a royal dancer instead of standing leg extension. So we're back on the left foot, left leg. Okay, reach on the inside part of your right ankle with your right hand. Okay, kicking out the right leg. Left leg is straight. Left arm balances you in front. The trick here is to kick that right leg into the right hand as much as you can. See how horizontal you can get. Okay, let's do a 5 count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo. Okay, same thing as tree. Shake out that left ankle. I know it's a lot. And then switching legs. Grabbing the inside part of the left ankle, kicking out the left leg. Right arm balances you in the front. Once you're in position, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whew. Releasing that left leg. Let's have a seat. Whew. Oh, we've been waiting for this. Okay, classic table to start. You know, I love a good table. So prop yourselves up. Okay, hips up towards the ceiling, dropping the head back. Love good table. All right, let's go hard mode just for fun. So you can lift that left leg, kick that left heel forward. Let's go 5 seconds for each side. 1, 2, hips still come up. 3, 4, and 5. Left foot goes down, and other side. So right heel up in the air. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then gently lower the hips back down, keeping the legs where they are. Let's come into bridge. Okay, on our backs, clasp the hands underneath you. Roll onto your shoulders and hips come back up towards the ceiling. Okay, hopefully you feel your hamstrings, your glutes, and like your lower back stiffens up in a good strengthening way, not a bad way. Okay, give yourself a couple exhales and continue to push the hips up. Whew. All right, and then one vertebra at a time, lower yourself back down. Okay, it's about control. Ooh. No, I'm sure all the way down. Relax for a moment. Okay, let's stretch our glutes. I'm going to keep my left foot planted. Right leg makes a figure 4, so right ankle is on the left quad. And let's pull on the left shin. Oh, my goodness. Hello, right glute. Let's do 3 deep exhales. So breathing into the nose and out through the mouth. Ooh. Okay, next in breath. And long out breath. Last time for this side, breathing in and exhale. And we'll release the left shin Plant the right foot, left ankle gets into position. And let's grab the right side, repeating those 3 breaths. So breathing into the nose and out to the mouth. Okay, number 2, breathing in. Exhale. Okay, last time, breathing into the nose and out to the mouth. Release that right leg. Both legs come up in the air for happy baby. Okay, let's pull in the outside parts of our feet, pulling in our knees towards our underarms. The inner thighs make another comeback. I'll make a comeback. Let's rock side to side, massaging our spines against your mat while actively pulling on the feet. It's a 2-in-1, inner thighs and spine action. All right, let's release the feet and legs back down. Oh, let's do a supine twist. So I'm gonna hug my right knee in towards my chest. I mean, even this stretch feels good. That inner thigh area, but in a different way. Okay, let's pull our right knee out to the right. Okay, keeping both hips planted. Notice how that stretch changes slightly on that inner thigh. Okay, and then let's bring the right knee over to the left side of our body. Right arm extends out to the right. Okay. Our spines thank us. Ugh. Or not. Ugh. All right, let's bring our right leg back over. And then let's hug our left knee in towards our chest. Ugh. Okay, give yourself a couple deep exhales here. And then pulling our left knee out to the left, keeping both hips planted. Ugh. All right. And let's bring that right or left knee over to the right side of our body. Left arm extends out to the left while we look towards the left. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, give yourself long exhales. Find the extra degrees you can turn your spine, releasing any tension you have in your spine. Ooh. Let's bring the left leg back over. Ooh. And just lie down like a starfish for a moment. All right, and then you can grab one of your legs and use the weight of your legs to sit back up. Let's do a hamstring stretch. You can take your time to get there. I'm going to start with my left leg out in front. Bring your right heel in towards your soft tissue. Okay, toes facing the ceiling. Add the arm, or yeah, add the arms up top, and then exhale gently over your straight left leg. Okay, reach evenly with both your arms. And if you want an extra bonus side stretch, take that right hand, reaching or as it reaches for the inside part of your right foot, switch it over to the outside part of your foot. Sorry, your left foot, not your right foot. When your right arm is reaching diagonally, you should feel a stretch through the right side of your body. Okay, crown of your head should be reaching for your left foot as well, as though you're trying to touch your nose to your knee. All right, let's release that side and switch legs. Our right leg is out in front. Left heel is brought in towards your soft tissue. Arms are up top to start. Gentle breath in and long breath out. Okay, back of the right knee stays on the mat. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, we're reaching, reaching, reaching. Ugh. And then release the right side. Okay, we can keep the right leg there. We're going to do both legs together. I always like doing each leg individually and then ending with both together just to see what the overall balance is like. All right, feet and legs together. Okay, sit up nice and tall. Feet are flexed, so toes are facing the ceiling. Arms are reaching for the ceiling momentarily. And then we're exhaling over both legs now. Okay, you might be less flexible with both legs out in front. I know I am. Ugh. And let's hold this one for 5, 4, 3, 2, ugh, and 1. Ugh. All right, hamstrings are feeling good. Let's start our closing sequence. So, taking our time getting there. Let's have a seat in our heels. Knees are as wide as your mat. Settle with your breath. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out, come forward in a child's pose, forearms and forehead on the mat. Relaxing the whole body. Take this moment to thank your body for everything it's done, everything it's doing, everything we continue to ask it to do. One more deep breath in here. And as you exhale, come forward out of child's pose. Rotate onto your back. Ugh. For everyone's favorite. Ugh. I'm going to use my block as a pillow, so why not? Okay, so relax your body as you breathe deeply in both directions, arms at your sides. You can close your eyes here. We're going to go for 90 seconds. I want you to do a body scan and see how you feel. Or rather, see how your body feels. We're going to start those 90 seconds in three, two, one. All right, that was about 90 seconds. You can begin to slowly reanimate. You can keep your eyes closed. Ugh. Let's start with the morning stretch. So arms go overhead, point the toes at the bottom. Ugh. Maybe arch your back, wiggle side to side. Ugh. Ugh. All right, roll on to one of your sides and rest your face right on your hands. I'm going to take a moment for ourselves. Whichever arm is on top, plant that palm on the floor and leading with a shoulder that's in the air. Follow with the rest of the body as you push yourself back up. Ugh. Ugh. All right. So lengthening our spines. Okay. Our glutes on the ground all the way up to the top. Let's take 3 audible breaths to end today's practice as we do. So breathing into the nose and breathe out with some sound. All right, number 2, let's breathe into the nose and breathe out with some sound. All right, last one. Breathing into the nose
And breathe out with some sound. Let's bring our hands to our hearts. You may repeat after me if you wish. May you have clear and kind intention. Let's raise our hands to our foreheads. May you have clear and kind thoughts. Let's bring our hands to our lips. May you have clear and kind communications. And then returning our hands to our hearts. And as always, the light in me celebrates and honors the light in you. Namaste, my friends. Remember to pause your watches.
Okay,
We're back.
we're back. Happy Monday. Happy
Right.
new month.
Happy new month. Rent's due, everyone.
Yeah.
We love hearing that, Joseph. Oh, sorry if I sounded nasally. I actually feel fine, but I noticed when you pointed out that I sound nasally. But I feel 100%, which is odd.
Good.
So,
Well, glad you feel fine.
yeah,
Okay.
you and me both. All right.
All right.
Have a good one, Arisa.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Joseph. Bye.